In this video, I'm going to share a parenting tip for a common fatherhood question. If you find this information useful, please subscribe and also consider going to my website to get more information on how to participate in one of my Fatherhood Brotherhood online workshops. So today's question is, how do I handle my child's emotional meltdowns? So the immediate answer is with love. You want to handle your child's emotional meltdowns with tons and tons of love. It is love that's going to help you or give you the necessary empathy that you will need to try to or work on trying to understand what your child is going through. When your child has a meltdown, they are giving you feedback. This is how they express themselves, just like adults. They're having a meltdown. Through empathy, you're going to try to find out what is happening in their lives, and you're going to use calm, reassuring language to let them know that you are there for them, and you're going to begin to introduce emotional language, right? The vocabulary with which to label what they might be going through. Without empathy, you are likely going to be viewing what's happening to them through your lens, through your understanding of what should be happening, right? How things should be. So empathy allows you to say to yourself, wait, hold on one second. This is a baby. This is a child. Even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 18, human beings are in their infancy. They're really young. So you being calm and empathetic is going to help you try to understand what is happening in their lives. And this is going to help you create a really strong bond with your child, even when they become your adult child. Again, a lack of empathy damages the parent-child bond, and you definitely want a very strong bond with this child, 1-year-old to 18 to 25 to 38, right? I'm assuming that if you had this child, this is someone that you want to be with or be friends with or have a relationship with forever. Lack of empathy creates a weak parent-child relationship, but again, not just when they are 5 years old, but also when they are 55 years old. So what you're working on now when they are little is really your relationship, decades into the future. When a child is having a meltdown, it's a very similar situation to when an adult is having a meltdown. They are struggling to understand what is happening to them at that moment. Basically, they don't know what they're feeling. Loving empathy will help your child understand what is happening in their lives. Remember, strong emotions are feedback for you and your partner about what is happening with your child. This is how you know what you need to work on. Try not to think of strong emotions as an inconvenience. Try not to think of yourself at that moment. Try to really make it about them, right? Again, we go back to empathy and love, or loving empathy. Put your own emotions to the side. And I know it's going to be difficult, and I know that you have a thousand things that you have to take care of. But at this moment, the more work you put into what's happening right now, into dealing with their emotional breakdown, is going to help you tremendously in the long run. Again, going back to the idea that strong emotions are good for you, mean good for you to figure out what you need to work on. It's important as a child, but also important as an adult. Adults, especially these days, are talking about feeling triggered. And when you get triggered, or when you feel anxiety, for instance, people say, oh, I'm feeling so anxious right now. That's good. I mean, it's not good to feel anxious, but it's good that you recognize that you feel anxious or triggered, because now, rather than pushing back and go, ugh, I don't want to feel like this, what you need to do, what you want to do, is you want to do what was done for you when you were a child, which is, hey, let's lean in and try to figure out why I'm feeling triggered, why you're feeling uncomfortable, why you're having a meltdown. Remember, your child is a brand new human being that you are responsible for. And that responsibility is to help them understand the world within which they exist. So what you don't want to think of parenting as attempting to create an obedient child, because that's not what they're going to be the rest of their lives. They are going to be independent, unique human beings. So your job is really to help them create a clear picture, or as clear as you can make it for them, of the world around them. An idea you want to keep in the front of your mind is that this world that we live in as adults is extremely confusing even to us as adults. So you can imagine that a child really has no idea about what's going on. It is our job as the parent, as a caregiver, as a teacher, a mentor, to shield them from the very confusing world within which we all exist, and allow them the space, the time to grow into this understanding of what the world is about. The moment that you recognize that your child is having meltdowns, you want to immediately schedule a conversation with your partner about what may be going on. And out of that conversation should come out ideas about, what are each of you doing that maybe you can modify, or what might you not be doing that you want to figure out how to create in your child's life, so that they don't continue to melt down. There's likely a reason that comes from you and your partner that is making your child have emotional meltdowns. Now, something that I recommend often is you can go online and find a page, like an 8.5 by 11 PDF of some of the more common emotions. And so before your child knows how to say the words, before they learn the vocabulary, you could show them on this PDF what it looks like to be angry, what it looks like to be sad, right? So you could use images rather than words very early on. Are you feeling like this? Are you feeling like that, right? And you can explain, well, this is what angry looks like, and when I'm angry, this is what it looks like, right? And so you want to have conversations with them. And lastly, a couple of things to not do when your child is having an emotional meltdown. Don't scream at them, and don't hit them. Again, if you scream at them or hit them, you damage the bond, the relationship now and into the future, and you teach them that you're not available when they're having strong emotions. If you find this information useful, please subscribe, and also consider going to my website to get more information on how to participate in one of my Fatherhood Brotherhood online workshops.